Christian Horner, master architect of numerous F1 triumphs, has been tossed out of Red Bull like a set of used rubber. The man who shepherded an energy drink startup to 6 Constructors titles, 8 drivers' crowns, and hundreds of podiums is suddenly out in the cold. Paddock whispers, speak of boardroom power plays between Horner, Helmut Marko, and even Max Verstappen's camp. Others hint at behind-the-scenes fractures within Newey's design bunker. But what really happened? Was it simple mismanagement? An old scandal that refused to go away? Or a preemptive move to secure Verstappen's loyalty? We'll circle back to that question at the end. But right now, let's revisit the career-defining moments that both solidified Horner's legacy and sowed the seeds of his downfall. When Red Bull arrived on the grid in 2005, most saw a flashy energy drink experiment bound to flame out, and few outside Milton Keynes took them seriously. The old guard saw them as flamboyant newcomers, splashed in midnight blue and matte silver, masquerading as a racing team. Yet, under Horner's fearless leadership, they turned that perception on its head at the 2005 Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. David Coulthard, the seasoned Scotsman, qualified an improbable second. Horner chose an aggressive tyre strategy, 2 stops instead of 3. When Fernando Alonso's Renault faltered under thermal degradation, Coulthard thundered by, delivering Red Bull's maiden victory. In the paddock, jaws dropped. In the boardroom, Horner's bold gamble turned Red Bull from wannabe squad to legitimate contender. Team insiders later revealed that Horner's strategy memo contradicted senior engineers' recommendations. They accused him of overreaching, of betting the future on a rookie setup. Others claim Horner's aggressive tactics had almost stretched the small squad to breaking point. Yet his gamble rewarded him with headlines and sponsors that funded every subsequent development. Up next, we're going to unpack some of the most definitive moments that took Red Bull racing to the very pinnacle of Formula One. So don't go anywhere. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives, and drop a comment below. Was Horner a visionary ahead of his time, or a dictator whose methods and off-track antics finally got him caught out? Dawn of dominance, ushering in a new order. Fast forward to 2009. Red Bull was no longer an underdog. Under Horner's stewardship and legendary designer Adrian Newey's aerodynamic genius, they rolled out the RB5, a car with unprecedented downforce and reliability. Horner orchestrated a relentless mid-season development program, bringing upgrades virtually every fortnight, outpacing Ferrari's F60 and McLaren's MP424. The result? An astonishing haul of 9 victories, including a 1-2 in Nürburgring and a 95-point margin over Ferrari. It marked Red Bull's first Constructors' Championship, and Horner stood on the podium clutching that glistening silver trophy. It was a watershed, the birth of the modern Red Bull dynasty. Yet behind the scenes, reports surfaced of friction between Horner and Newey, tensions so fierce they nearly derailed chassis upgrades. Others suggested Horner's unyielding deadlines cracked the design team's morale. Yet Horner's relentless push created the momentum that Ferrari and McLaren couldn't match. Vettel's meteoric rise, betting big on youth and the youngest champion ever. Enter Sebastian Vettel, barely out of karting when Horner handed him the keys to lead the 2010 championship charge, was a masterstroke. Horner identified Vettel's raw speed and calm under pressure as assets Ferrari's veteran lineup lacked. He allowed Vettel creative freedom in qualifying and one-stop strategies, knowing his talent could exploit every advantage. By the time Brazil 2010 arrived, Vettel needed a victory or second place to clinch the title. In a rain-soaked finale, Horner doubled down on a wet-weather tyre call against the grain. Vettel executed to perfection, seizing the championship by a single point, the youngest ever to do so. Red Bull erupted in celebration, Horner's faith vindicated. Some insiders whispered that Horner pressured Ferrari's engineers for data on wet weather performance. Others suggested the decision to run full wets late in the race contradicted simulator warnings. But the gamble delivered F1 history and cemented Horner's reputation as a driver whisperer. The three-peat era, dynasty at all costs. Few teams can claim a dynasty. Fewer can claim dominance like Red Bulls in this era. From 2011 through 2013, Horner steered Red Bull to 3 consecutive Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. They were the only F1 entity with the nerve to introduce radical blown diffuser designs and then fight the FIA's technical clarifications. It was a symphony of aerodynamic mastery and racecraft, conducted by Horner's exacting baton. Horner's strategic calls, 4-stop races in Barcelona, early undercuts in Singapore, showed a willingness to break the mould. Yet legends tell of a locker room tense with exhaustion, driver rivalries flaring, and a merciless expectation to repeat. The infamous Multi-21 Malaysia 2013 incident, where Vettel disobeyed a team order to hold position behind Webber, exposed rifts. Horner struggled to heal. Was Horner too enamoured with victory to enforce team discipline, or did he foster a culture of ruthless competitiveness? Resurrection. Verstappen and the 2021 showdown. After a brief slump, Horner found new gold by rebuilding around a new young prodigy, Max Verstappen. Their partnership culminated in an epic 2021 season finale, an on-track duel in Abu Dhabi that shook F1 to its core. Horner's unwavering support of Verstappen, even amid controversy over race director decisions, galvanized the team and proved to be vindication for his bold gambles. Under Horner, Red Bull aggressively developed the RB16B, unlocking pace that outstripped Mercedes W12 in crucial moments. Meanwhile, Horner managed FIA relations like a diplomat, lobbying for consistent stewarding that hadn't always gone Red Bull's way. The result? Verstappen's first title, a dethroning of Hamilton, and a vindication of Horner's long-term vision. Meanwhile, the backroom drama grew with boardroom disputes about budget cap breaches, rumours of political favours, and allegations that Horner struck side deals with engine suppliers for extra PU tokens, moves that some rivals decried as underhanded. Yet Horner walked the line between innovation and controversy, and emerged victorious. Was 2021 Horner's finest hour, or a Faustian bargain that planted the seeds of distrust leading to his dismissal? Christian Horner's 2-decade tenure with Red Bull reads like a Hollywood script: rags to riches, triumphs to controversies, and now a cliffhanger no one saw coming, full of risk, genius, friction, and ultimately a sudden curtain call. These moments define his legacy: a rebel with a cause, a builder who courted controversy, and a leader who refused to settle. Was Horner a visionary who reshaped F1, or an autocrat whose ambitions outgrew his team? Did he deserve to be sacked, or was this the sport's greatest political misstep? Drop your theories in the comments, because in F1, the story never ends.